Well, hey guys, and welcome to another tactical review live stream. I'm glad you guys are here, and we'll give a few minutes to let people roll in. Mark 18. I'm going to be honest, I haven't actually been following the coronavirus that closely. Part of it is I live in the middle of nowhere, and part of it is it seems like in a developed nation, mostly it's the same kind of people who are at risk for death from the flu. So I mean, I may be wrong, and you might be someplace where you really need to worry about it, so definitely stay healthy. Brownies form my fat. How you doing, brother or sister? Brother, I don't know. The my demographics say it's primarily guys who watch this, so I don't know. Anyway, it's a little chilly in my office tonight with this snow going through. And speaking of, let me just go ahead and say, I've mentioned it before, I've got point-to-point wireless or fixed wireless internet, so if the stream gets fuzzy tonight, it may just be the snow picking up and scattering that Wi-Fi signal. So, yeah, so anyway, I got some nice Black Rifle coffee here, some AK-47 espresso. And yeah, we'll start to get underway here. Want to just start with, while we're waiting on people to come in, I mentioned, I think at the end of December, I upgraded my Gun Owners of America membership. Yes, it's backwards to you guys because I have my camera flipped around to where it makes sense to my brain. So, but I upgraded to a lifetime membership, and I don't get all of the coolest perks until I make my final payment, but they did send me a nifty little book. That's backwards. That almost looks like Russian in that picture. Anyway, it's titled a book titled "What Makes You Think We Read the Bills" by retired Senator H.L. Richardson. And just the couple of glimpses I've taken through here, I don't know. I think it's just one more peeling away the layer of modern American politics, and I'm interested to read it. Can't wait, actually. Copyright was originally in the 70s, with the most recent copyright being 2003. So I'll give you guys more of a yay or nay on this later. If you have read it, you can go ahead and let us know in the chat, and let us know what you thought. Hi, Vanessa. Welcome. Yeah, Mark 18. Yeah, absolutely. It's always smart to be prepared. You might even want to make sure, if you have a gas mask as part of your kit, make sure that you have canisters that are rated for biological threats as well, and that will that'll keep you where you need to be. Look at what we're talking about here tonight. There's a lot of Americans who would say that the things we talk about on our Wednesday live streams are absolute panic, and fate favors the prepared. Sometimes fate favors the bold, though. So other things before we really start getting into the meat and potatoes. Our dump tray is ready. Jason texted me on last Friday and let me know that the dump tray for the giveaway is ready, and I haven't gotten to town to pick that up yet. So otherwise, I'd love to be able to hold it up and show you guys. On the other hand, if I have it, I might want to use it. So y'all need to keep sharing the channel. I appreciate you guys, and we are only like 42 subs away from doing the giveaway. So the quicker we get to 250, the less temptation that I have to keep the stuff. So anyway, Poor Conservative, welcome. Are you guys getting dumped on up in Michigan too? Because you guys usually get more snow than we do anyway. All right, if you are looking at the stream title, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, yeah. Anyway, sorry, looking over the chat. if you're looking at the stream title, I'm going to tell you that I just threw those down kind of as I thought of them, and that's not necessarily the order in which we will proceed. In fact, I think I'm going to go kind of more chronological order. And as always, feel free to jump in the chat and direct the discussion. These live chats are kind of a chance for us to hang out, and they get kind of boring and kind of short without you guys' input. So yeah, Mark 18, I keep seeing mixed reviews here. It was coming down pretty hard for a little while. It's been snowing off and on for 5 hours, 4 hours, something like that. And I think we have a grand total of about an inch and a half of accumulation. So all of the students at the school were super excited. They wanted a snow day tomorrow, which doesn't really affect me being in the technology department because there's always things I can work on. And so anyway, all right. So I'm going to start with my aggravation number one with the NFL. I didn't watch the whole Super Bowl. I watched part of it because I was over at my brother-in-law's house and there was food and family, and I don't hate football. I'll either watch it or I won't. It's not a huge thing to me. But a little annoyed that the NFL, as some of you may know, some of you may not know, they declined to accept Daniel Defense's money because they did not want to support a firearms manufacturer. As a matter of fact, Daniel Defense even offered to not show the products at all in the advertisement and to replace the Daniel Defense logo even with an American flag, which in retrospect, the NFL has a tenuous relationship in the last few years with the American flag anyway, but they decided that that's not something that they wanted to do. It's just fine. That's their right, I suppose. Daniel Defense, if you would like a channel or a platform on which to advertise, you absolutely can send me a small fraction of the money that you would have sent the NFL, and maybe the occasional rifle, and I will more than happily, as a matter of fact, you can have like 60 seconds of time on every one of my videos. Gladly, I would happily do that for you. Anyway, excuse me. Regardless, however, on Super Bowl Sunday, they being the NFL, did, though, decide that they were more than happy to run a Michael Bloomberg ad about children being killed by gun violence. And the numbers presented there, quite simply shocking that, according to Everytown for Gun Safety, which is also a Bloomberg-backed organization. Anyway, annually, nearly 2,900 children and teens are shot and killed. Now, the ad that rolled actually just said, they changed children and teens to just children. We got to make this a little bit more shocking and emotional, obviously. And 2,900 kids, that's a lot of kids annually. But the numbers don't wash. In case you saw that and you said that doesn't feel right, but you didn't go on and do any of the math, let's break that down, because I actually have pulled up over here the FBI crime statistics for murders by weapon for 2014 to 2018. So not quite the same time span that Everytown uses. They use 2013 to 2017. But in 2014, total firearms deaths, total firearms murders, 7,803. 2015, 9103. 2016, 10,372. 2017, 11,006. And 2018, 10,265. So it's pretty incredible that nearly 33% of those in the recent years, and about half of them in 2014, would have been children and teenagers. And the reason that that seems excessively high is because it in fact is. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, which are notoriously not pro-2A, mind you, the average number of firearm-related deaths involving Americans 17 or younger from 2013 through 2017 is about 1,500, which is still quite a few, but it's half the number that Mr. Bloomberg reported. And then it goes on, because nearly 40% of those are deaths by suicide, which are no less tragic, but it's not the same thing. Of course, the government would like to put that responsibility onto the parents. We'll talk more about that later. But that would bring the average then down, if we're looking at about 60% of 1,500 youths, that's about 900 children who are murdered using a firearm annually. That's a major difference. Like over 2,000 souls there. So, yeah, Mr. Bloomberg, your math doesn't work. This is the second time within 2 months that I've called out you and or your organizations for straight up falsehoods where it comes to our Second Amendment rights. Sir, at least come up with something a little less verifiable. It's like talking to my kids. Come up to me, they got crumbs on their face, cheeks full, they look like a chipmunk. Are you eating a cookie? No, I'm not eating no cookie. Find something a little bit less easy to ascertain as a lie. All right. Mark 18, yes, the $11 million lie. That's, once again, a lot of, it's his money to spend, but a lot of where it's politically based, there's a lot of, I feel like it's criminal. Teenager that ad was addressing and made several threats. And yes, and I didn't watch the ad, mind you. The article that I had is from, the author of the article was Jacob Sullum, and I only printed the first page. But the youth that was killed, the ad was talking about, that was actually a death by gang violence. So once again, the anti-gunners, they will just say, yes, but it was a child who was killed with a firearm. But gang violence is a different breed of thing anyway. Much like suicides, it's unfortunately violence that will occur. And it makes little difference whether an individual is killed with a knife or strangled or if they're shot. And in a gang violence situation, when you're looking at multiple attackers versus a single person, that single person, unless they're very well trained and a little lucky, stands very little chance. I was on his way to carrying out one of those threats when he shot and killed. Bloomberg on par with Schiff in the Truth Department. Yeah, hey, let's talk about Mr. Schiff, which makes me think of Ms. Pelosi, which makes me think of articles of impeachment, which makes me think of an acquittal. So the question is, are the Democrats in Congress going to make good on their threats and just keep wasting taxpayer money and try to find something else on which to impeach? I don't know, but my fellow Americans, I don't agree with everything that the man does, everything the man says, certainly most of what the man tweets, but he being President Trump isn't wrong. Let's drain the swamp. Yeah. And guys, if you need to get my attention, don't forget to @mention me in the chat. You keep seeing me glance over. I try to skim through it, and the @mention will stand out in orange and help me pick it up. Okay, moving on. I do have a couple of items to talk about this week that oh no, poor conservative, I don't. I don't. My money's on that this entire legislative session will be spent wasting taxpayer money trying to impeach our duly elected president, as opposed to focusing on finding a worthwhile candidate and trying to get somebody in the White House legitimately. So anyway, so looks like I probably should have looked up the actual verbiage of this bill anyway, but late last week I saw an article in Ammo Land News mentioning House Resolution 4939, or the Stop Straw Purchases Act. It was introduced by Representative Don Bacon, and he's wanting to increase penalties for straw purchasers. So increases it up from a sentence of up to 10 years and up to $250,000 fine to up to 25 years imprisonment and a $750,000 fine for those who would knowingly be a straw purchaser. So first, just in case anybody, I know my regulars, you guys, we've talked guns enough, you guys and gals, Vanessa, sorry, all gun owners, we've all gone through the process of filling out a Form 4473, which is the background check that legislators act like we don't have to go through. And so what a straw purchaser is, if you are somebody who's not a regular, hasn't purchased a firearm before, hasn't heard that term, is when somebody purchases a firearm wholly with the intent of selling it to or giving it to a person who is legally not allowed to, like a felon. And it's, excuse me, there's a fine line there. So for instance, I could buy, anybody I wanted to, I could buy a firearm as a gift. That's not a straw purchase. If I buy it for somebody as a gift and they gift me money or services or whatever of equivalent value, that's now fallen under the realm of straw purchasing. The idea is that there are people who will willingly be a buyer for somebody who is a convicted felon or something. And Mark 18, you're not wrong. How about handing down maximum sentence for a crime committed with a firearm first? And that's where we pro-gunners, no, I don't like pro-gun. There are people who are pro-gun that they fall in the I support the Second Amendment but crowd. The pro-2A group, we continually point out that if the laws that are on the books aren't stopping the crimes, adding more laws will not affect criminals. It's only going to affect law-abiding citizens who intend to maintain their law-abiding status. So yeah, absolutely right. Pro-freedom, I like that. Pro-freedom. Anyway, so my question is though, So does that mean that we are going to give everybody who is involved with and or approved the little Fast and the Furious scheme 25 years and a $750,000 fine? Because once again, the biggest straw purchaser, the biggest firearms trafficker in the country is the government. So, FYI. The 2A has a butt. Well, I have seen like anime Gadsden flags that are very disturbing, very curvy and disturbing snake. Poor conservative. Maybe you're fortunate and don't get on the Discord servers that I've found my way on. And the AK guys Discord servers, weird. Anyway, no, I digress. No, seriously though, there is some weird stuff. But anyway. All right, a little bit of good news mixed in with the bad news from Virginia. I have a couple of things here. So evidently, it looks like there are some Virginia state legislators who do want to keep their jobs, even though they have a D behind their name. And on February 3rd, may have occurred on the 2nd. I'm going to say there was no voting done on the 2nd, so it was probably the 3rd. That, well, the Virginia Senate shut down the bill to, they don't give me the bill number here. Of course they don't give me the bill number. That would make my life easier. But it's the bill that was about the Safe Storage Act. There we go. We'll call it that. I don't know what they called it. But it would make it a felony to recklessly leave a loaded, unsecured firearm in a way that endangers a minor. Well, that one back there, it's not currently loaded. Is it endangering a minor? What about the ones that I keep ready for bump in the night? Are those endangering my children? Well, part of it would depend on how the judge that I drew ascertained that. So, anyway, fortunately that bill, and again I don't have the bill number, it was shot down in the Senate. But I do like this. Northam's spokeswoman, Elena Yarmosky. Yarmosky, huh? I'm not racist, but no. It's a very Russian-sounding name, and given how communistic Governor Northam is proving to be, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who saw that irony. There's a channel strike. Yep, channel strike for racism. Anyway. Elena Yarmosky says, this bill will keep children safe from loaded, unsecured firearms. Like Governor Northam's other common sense gun safety measures, it is something that everyone, including responsible gun owners, should support. Look, Ms. Yarmosky, Elena, can I call you Elena? Not all of us can afford or have taxpayer-funded armed security. So if you please, leave it to me to best protect my family. Okay, thanks. Bye. All right. Poor conservative says that's a Pollock. Okay, that's true. And so as far as AKs hanging over a Gadsden flag, I realize that the AK-47 at its core was a communist gun. That said, even Mr. Brain fart. Yeah, Mr. Kalashnikov. Jeez. It's late. I don't know where my brain is. even he expressed regret that he was not able to release his platform in the United States, as he looked at Eugene Stoner become a very wealthy individual off of his patents, versus he himself who died a pauper. I guess what I'm saying is the Gadsden flag predates all semi-automatic weapons. The Gadsden flag is the flag of the Minutemen, and you know, I guess I would have no problem picking up, especially a nice quality Palmetto State American-made AK, and defending my family and my country. But and I get that. I was fortunate enough to grow up at the very tail end of the Cold War, to the point where it wasn't even something we thought about. The reunification of Germany was something, I mean, it occurred in my elementary years, so I can see where that would bother you. I don't know. I'm a gun guy, so AKs, I like them. ARs, I like them. Barretts, I like them. A Maudus, I'll take it. I like it. So, sorry guys, I've got a scratchy throat. I don't usually try to sit here and guzzle water. Anyway, and then also stillborn for this legislative season in the Virginia venue? I don't know what I was saying. Virginia Senate Bill 13, processing or transporting a weapon within Capitol Square, bypassed. It's not going anywhere. Senate Bill 15, carrying a weapon into a building owned or leased by the Commonwealth, not going anywhere. 353, outdoor shooting ranges prohibited adjacent to residential areas, not going anywhere. And 490, purchase, possession, or transportation of firearms following a conviction for assault and battery of a family or household member, permit to restore rights. Anyway, that's not going anywhere. And then it also gave me that bill number for the one I was just talking about was Senate Bill 581, defeated in committee, 7 yes, 8 no, including some Democrats who were uncomfortable. So if you catch this on the restream, or if you're watching now from Virginia, you had a couple of Democrats who decided that they like their jobs. So that said, and I don't have any updates on these since Monday, the Senate Bill 64, which was the paramilitary activities, the training and classes bill, it was heard by committee. Firearms on school properties, wait a minute, that was made federally illegal in 1993. Oh, that added private and religious schools and daycares. It folded them under that envelope. Trigger activators, Senate Bill 14. But they took binary triggers out of that. So I don't understand, because federally bump stocks are now verboten. So I don't know. Anyway, there's still a bunch of garbage in the legislature. Don't take this to mean that, hey, we won in Virginia, because we all know that's not true. So, just a quick rundown. In Virginia, House Bill 78, House Bill 459, 900, 1288, 142, 264, and 600 are all bad bills. So if you're in Virginia, I'm going to do that again. Virginia, you should contact subcommittee members and say, hey, no, kill those, and ask them to support Bill 224, 1409, and 1689. And House Bill 961 is the big one. That's the suppressors and magazine capacity and firearms registration for, or registration for, to get your assault weapons grandfathered, you would have to register them. And guys, we know registration leads to confiscation. History backs that up. It won't happen here. This time communism will work. Alright, sorry. Alright. You know, I've never actually watched Never Enough Ammo. There's so many. I've gotten to the point now that I have so many subscriptions that I'm actually missing out. I haven't had a chance to really catch up on 2A EDU stuff. I saw he did drop another new video today. And yeah, just I'm getting buried. Heck, even Forgotten Weapons stuff. All right, in Idaho, the Sandpoint Mayor, Shelby Rognestad? Why? Why can't we have easy names? Fred and Bob. Anyway, is really pushing to be able to disarm Idahoans at events held on taxpayer properties. So if there's an event that's happening on state land, they want to be able to disarm people. Under current Idaho law, cities and counties cannot regulate the possession of firearms, including on public property. The exceptions are, you know, federal buildings, schools, things like that. Federal stuff. That sounds like exactly what our founding fathers did not want, but I digress. Anyway, so if you live in Idaho, you need to make sure to contact your mayor, contact your state legislators, and let them know that you do not support modification that would allow communities to and counties to disarm you, and then go ahead and start citing statistics about the safety of gun-free zones. So, yeah. Hey, Brastard's here. I am failing at Englishing today. Brastard's here. Yeah, I dig Ian's stuff. Forgotten Weapons is a must-watch for me. And Ian seems like a genuinely really cool and laid-back guy, especially if you have some 7mm French long. Did I get that right? I don't think I got that right. Anyway, poor conservative. That's why I don't subscribe to any. Yeah, you know, I've got a lot that I've subscribed to because obviously I know how important subscribers are to a channel. And then I just don't have notifications turned on. And then I have others that YouTube has very kindly turned off my notifications because that's helpful. So, excuse me. Anyway, now to my good old, dear old Indiana. I am very happy to say that the Indiana Citizens Defense League has recently posted this handy dandy map showing the various counties that are moving on Second Amendment sanctuary status. And I can actually tell you, I saw on Facebook the other day that Cass County, which is right, let me shrink this down and get this right. There we go. Cass County, which is now circled on your map, is now green. They passed a Second Amendment resolution, I think, 2 days ago. So, yay for that, to steal John Lovell's saying. And yeah, Crown Point, Vincennes. I saw, let me jump over on my county's Facebook group because I saw that they had, I thought, was it Warwick County maybe? Well, you know what? Maybe it wasn't them. Maybe it was on the Indiana Citizens Defense League. And I'm not going to find this quick enough. Oh, no, Warwick County, they are emailing county commissioners. So if you are in Indiana, let me go ahead and get this map off the screen. I just saw that I still have that up because I was looking at the ICDL Facebook page. Let me just, yeah, if you're in Indiana, or hey, Josh is here. Hi, Josh. Or if you're in Ohio or Illinois or Kentucky or Michigan and you're kind of wanting to keep abreast of what's going on, especially if you're on the border, you guys can join the Facebook group there for the ICDO and kind of stay abreast of what's going on around the state. And I'm just, let's see, Cass County, like I said, I saw that. So anyway, definitely making strides. And once again, there's a lot of people who just don't understand. And really, I kind of want to maybe get down to Cass County and see about interviewing the sheriff and just asking him, you know, how it's great that the resolution was put into place, or the ordinance, or whatever the verbiage is there. But does he intend to disregard unconstitutional laws? Where does he draw the line? What does he consider constitutional, unconstitutional? Is he willing to arrest federal or state officials coming into the county attempting to enforce these unconstitutional laws? That might be an interview I try to set up. I don't know that I'll get it accomplished, but I would be interested in hearing some of these elected peacekeeping officers' takes on what exactly this means to them. Because, once again, do they view this the same way I view this? You know, I've got a meme. Somebody asks, how pro-2A are you? And it's got a battleship with a full broadside salvo going on. Me. If I can afford an M1 Abrams and I can afford to fuel it and run it, I think I should be able to own it. So, and Mark 18, yeah, I think that non-compliance at a mass level is what it's going to take. You know, we like our tea in the harbor and our tyrants swinging. Didn't hear that here. Yeah, you did. You heard that here. So, all right. Guys, really, well, heck, we're almost an hour into this. And I've kind of gotten through the stack of things I wanted to cover. Any major news? Any major news that you guys saw through the week? There's a chance that I saw it too, and just forgot to bring it up. Hey, Josh, since you just got here, I got a new book. I don't know if you've read this, and I know it's backwards on your screen. What Makes You Think We Read the Bills? By retired Senator H.L. Richardson. Have you by chance read this? Josh and I went to college together for a couple semesters, and he is a very well-read individual. Pretty smart. He knows how to make numbers work and do the things that numbers are supposed to do. So, never read it. All right, well, I may do kind of a little book review, especially if I have a week that's light on content, which, all things considered, shouldn't be at least the next couple of weeks. And Josh, I never heard of it before today. It was a gift from Gun Owners of America for switching over to a lifetime membership. So Mark 18, I have heard in the conspiracy sphere, yeah, I'm not doing well with this language today, but I have heard rumors that coronavirus was in fact engineered as a biological weapon, and then this is a containment breach from the Wuhan facility. Geneticists are saying in studying it, it does look like it in fact originated from bats. And reading interviews and things from folks who are familiar with the area, evidently, well, bat soup is definitely considered a delicacy in the area, and it evidently stems from the fact that in the dialect of the Wuhan province, the word for bat and the word for luck are homophones. And yes, I do believe that people are exactly stupid enough to die for a pun. So I can see either one of these being true. Cruise ship. Yeah, Pelosi. I really hope that those $2,000 pins came out of her personal coffers. You know, if she wanted to be that much of a butt and she spent her own money, I'm fine with it. Unfortunately, I'm not fine with all the taxpayers' money that was spent on that travesty. Anyway, cruise ship quarantine because of the coronavirus. Yeah, so guys, here's the deal. If you're in an area with a whole lot of tourist traffic, you're going to look goofy, but at this point, coronavirus is not truly airborne, is my understanding. If it has mutated, you're going to need to let us know. It passes through fluid contact. So the problem is that will kind of be faux airborne, because when we sneeze and when we cough, you know, we atomize spit. Isn't that nice to think about? And so if that gets in your eyes or in your mouth or in your nose, that virus could be in that very fine spittle and still alive and well. For most people with a healthy immune system, all you're going to have are flu-like symptoms, like with a lot of viruses. Anyway, but if you have I think it's the rating number you need is 95 something. They were just talking about, like our school nurse was just talking about it today. Anyway, if you're wearing a mask, that's going to give a physical barrier for that, and then it's going to have antimicrobials in it that'll kill it. You just have to walk around and look goofy wearing a mask. But if you're in an area with a lot of international traffic, that might not be a bad idea. Yeah, poor conservative. The memes have been fantastic. And to the gentleman, I don't remember which city it was in, who got the shirt printed that says "I Heart Wuhan" and walked around his local coffee shop coughing, sir, hats off to you. You are a troll of epic proportions, and I only aspire to one day be a dark spot in your shadow. Hats off, sir. Proteins grafted from HIV and the coronavirus to destroy T cells. That's crappy. Cruise ship was in Japan. Took it out of the $4 million. $4 million for office expenses? Okay. Travel back. So the whole plan of people getting off with 12. So, I mean, yeah, if you're someplace or you know somebody's been traveling abroad, just, you know, be smart with things. Yeah. Once again, fate favors the prepared. So, there was something. Oh, I know what it was. I'm sitting here staring at the remainder of my pack of CR123s. Now, you guys see these missing 4 batteries. I did that for you guys. I love you guys. You're awesome. Because there were claims of shenanigans on my video where I put my rail mount Streamlight HLX up against the Olight Warrior or Pro Warrior, I did order a rechargeable Streamlight 18650 battery, and I've got that on the charger now, so we are going to have a redux of that video coming up. I've got a couple other things in here that are going to be serious time savers for me, and we'll take a look at those. So yeah. Oh yeah, we're talking about, you know, and here, working for a school, I understand some of that. You've got to spend your budget so it doesn't get reallocated, and just bothers me that the government works so differently. You know, if we as private citizens tried to just live on debt, it wouldn't go well. It wouldn't go well for us at all. I mean, okay, I realize that some people do. They just juggle debt. Now, I guess, how do you not care about that? I don't know. Lots of travel back. Okay, Mark 18. Well, yeah, where you are, definitely make sure that you've got. I would get the you know, standard surgical type masks that hook over your ears, and I would make sure, if you're a prepper to the point that you actually have like a mask, like milsurp style, make sure that you have canisters, number 1, that don't have any asbestos in them, but number 2, that they're biological rated. Absolutely. See, I live in the middle of cornfields. Like, through the wall behind me there, we've got the park that you've seen in flashlight videos, and on the other side of that baseball field that I've pointed out, that's about 100 yards away, is it's a cornfield. So I'm 200 yards from a cornfield that way, and straight past the camera, I've literally got cornfields within a quarter mile of every direction. So different strokes, right? And it's the whole reason that crap like Virginia is happening, because the politics that work in a city, or sort of work, don't really work in a. Anyway, the political climate of a city is nothing like what it is here in rural America. So, right. Once again, I appreciate the thumbs up you guys give me on the videos. And definitely share the channel. Once again, something like 42 subs away from doing our giveaway. So I've got the flashlights that we're giving away on hand, and when I get to town next, I will have our Boogaloo dump tray, so I'm excited about that. If you're not following the channel on social media, that's a thing you should be doing. And yeah, we share, or I am the royal we. But anyway, just pictures of behind the scenes stuff. Sometimes I share memes that I find. More typically, I find or I share political stuff or deals. So I probably follow the same kind of people that you follow, so you may be seeing them, but you know, the more we can get that stuff out there. Also, if you're in a position and you feel like you would like to help support the channel, you can do that over on Patreon. Or if you wanted to do a one-time thing in some other fashion, you can reach out to me through my channel email and we'll work that out. But you guys all know shooting is an expensive hobby. And turns out that if you film yourself shooting and then you think you want to do that on a regular basis, it makes it more expensive. So, yeah. plan to bug out and self-isolate. Especially if you're in a job you can work remote, or if your financial situation allows you to take an extended leave, might not be a bad idea. Or just move into a slightly more rural area. Again, I don't know what your situation is. Actually, Elias, who you guys have seen on the channel before, he just, or most recently, moved back into Indiana from Cincinnati. So I don't know how close you are to Cincinnati, but there you go. You guys, I'll keep an eye on the chat here for a couple more minutes, but all in all, some exciting things happening. There was the Kentucky rally last Friday. I guess I didn't look at any, I saw pictures from that. Of course, the mainstream media went absolutely nuts. Armed Ape, how you doing, man? I'm doing all right. Only thing shaking is I'm shivering a little bit. My office is a little chilly. Indiana decided we were going to winter, at least for a few days. 3 days after we had a 51-degree day for the Super Bowl. So, that's it. Ammunition store, really good pricing on ammunition. I'll keep that in mind. Usually when I go ammo shopping, I start at ammoseek.com. I don't know if you guys have used that. It's a really great resource. They are a search engine. And I'm going to tell you that, pardon me, my pistol ammo has come almost exclusively in case quantities from Target Sports USA. Am I allowed to say this on here? I guess if the stream just suddenly goes dead, YouTube didn't like this, but and my rifle ammo has most typically come from SG Ammo, with the exception of the LAX ammo that I put through the 300 Blackout. So I will be getting some Wolf steel case ammo in for the 300. When I do, I'm waiting on my tax return stuff, and then I'll be able to get some ammo in, and that will include a case of ammo to start really stressing the Palmetto State Freedom Rifle, and more stress on that green dot Mark 18. So there's that. What's winter? Is that when it gets below 70? Yeah. Ha 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 ha. That's okay. You can keep your Florida weather and your crazy hurricanes and your rhinos who take Bloomberg money, and I will take my Indiana gun balls. I'm sorry, that was just way too low of a blow, especially since you've been one of the biggest supporters of the channel all along. I'm sorry, man. I take that back. So yeah, Armed Ape, it has been a really mild winter. Outdoor Limited, Ammo Depot, Lucky Gunner, surplus ammo. Yeah, I buy my ammo where it's cheap. My federal black box stuff came from Academy Sports. And it's just, yeah, I buy it where. By the way, I got my rebate back from that federal black box. So if you guys did the federal black box with the rebate back at the very end of November, and you got your rebate submitted in time, you should be seeing that card coming in the mail, in case you were, wondering where it was. Super roaches. Oh boy. Yeah, let's not get too much into. Hey, I just realized I have some regulars who just weren't able to make it tonight. Although they probably didn't get notified, because thanks YouTube, and I wasn't quite Johnny on the spot with my normal notifications on social media. So anyway, yeah, we'll just, I really feel like there was something I needed to tell you guys, and I don't remember now what it was. So it'll either come to me or it won't. It's not even quite 10 o'clock yet. So, you know, I feel like I'm in the minority here. I never lived in Florida. I worked in Florida for 2 weeks back in 2006. Does that count? Well, while you are I feel like there was something with like red flag laws, or there was something else major that went down this week. This is why I need to start taking notes through the course of the week. Boy. Guys, the memes about Pelosi ripping up that speech, those are incredible. And you know what? I have some left-leaning friends that just, oh, she ripped up a speech, big deal, blah, blah, blah. And yet, we all know that if President Obama had handed a copy of his speech to a Republican member of Congress and that individual had torn up the speech, it would have, it's never equal. We know that. Hurricane Wilma related? No, it wasn't weather related, Armed Ape. It was definitely, it was politically related. I'm sure it was two-way related, or pretty sure. Every now and again it'll be something like the impeachment's not something that directly falls into the Second Amendment, but kind of just shows how one party is at, you know, respecting the way that our country is supposed to work, kind of, I guess. So just a quick scroll through, and I'm not seeing anything. All right, what's going on here? Stewart finished the Indian River Lagoon. Oh, that's. Do you know, I can't conceptualize $1 billion. Like, I know the number, obviously, but my brain can't wrap around that kind of money. I mean, 1,000 millions. Because I've done the math, and on a standard yield savings account, if I had, I think it was 10 million banked, I could live off of the interest every year at a higher level, financial level, than what I live now. And I can't imagine 100 times that amount. Sorry, this has nothing to do with firearms, except that firearms cost money. But yeah. Oh, I know what it was. Speaking of firearms, and we were talking about AK-47s earlier. Poor conservative, and I completely forgot. Did you guys see Rob Ski's video on the Palmetto State? I am really failing in English tonight. Palmetto State AKE. He absolutely hates it because there's nothing it needs out of the box besides more magazines. So far, he's only put 1,000 rounds through it. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Anybody else thinking that they kind of wouldn't mind having an FNH chrome line barrel on an AK-47? That said, I don't need another AK. Of course, I don't need another AR. There's a lot of things I don't need, and I still want them. Doesn't matter. So, oh yeah, Armed Ape, that's going to be a thing that if you want an AKE, the second that it comes in, you've just got to, I think that what I saw said that those are dropping on Fridays because they don't list them, they don't put them available until they have a fresh batch actually ready to sell. So if you're wanting one, watch on Fridays for that. I think once upon a time, I knew something drops on Wednesdays or Thursdays. That might be the AKV. Excuse me. And then, so it's just a matter of what furniture that you're wanting on it. Like, those might only be available with the M4 stock and the Magpul handguard. I don't know if they're doing the aluminum handguard like the one I got on my AK. And that's why when I saw that the AK I wanted was in stock, it was just, went and talked to my wife real quick and confirmed that she was okay with it, and I clicked buy. And it was at my FFL in like a week. It's just that my FFL was out on a bear hunt, so I didn't get it for 3 weeks. Anyway. 458. I want a 458 or a 450 or something like that. I don't know. Kind of. My problem is that I look at the cost per round and then just talk myself out of it. I'd kind of like what is it? 12.7 by, I don't remember, Beowulf, except you're not allowed to use Beowulf. Anyway, Mark 18 AR guy. I like my ARs as well. I've got 3 of those. Armed Ape, you want 545? If you didn't watch SHOT Show, the Palmetto State 74 is due out Q3 this year. So, yeah, just, that's on my list too. I don't have anything in 545. Because there's not a lot in 545. So, Project Thunder Thump. Oh, yeah, your name. Amazing for Palmetto State. Oh, and by the way, if you want a Palmetto State AK and you want a chrome line cold hammer forged barrel, but you don't want to pay for the AKE, the GF4 is the GF3 with a PSA chrome line barrel. I watched way too much SHOT Show footage, so there you go. Yeah, that's it, Poor Conservative. 12.7 by 54. I couldn't remember the length on that. Yes, Josh, I have 3 ARs unless the government's watching, and then I have 0 ARs because I lost them in a terrible boating accident when the fields flooded. But yeah, I've gotten them in the last year. So I've got the 300 Blackout home defense gun. I've got the Palmetto State Freedom gun that I built just to beat on, and then I've got my M&P 15, which is the closest to a go-to-war AR that I have right now. Yeah, it was very sad. I'm still not over it, and just, yeah. And then some crazy Russian kicked in my door and took my AK. Something about for the motherland. I don't know. It was just sad. All right. Well, fellers, I'm gonna be very honest. I feel like I've been burning the candle at both ends, and you know, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like a week where I don't have tons and tons of stuff to rant about because it's better for my blood pressure. And yeah, I don't know. Just guys, obviously, stay vocal, stay active. because this is our government if we can keep it. These are our rights because they're our rights. But government's gonna government. Everybody, can't say everybody. Statistically everybody, which is not necessarily everybody, but statistically everybody who gets a little bit of power wants a little bit more power. Everybody wants to be more equal. We know that. If we're honest with ourselves, we can look at ourselves and see that kind of thing. You know, I want to be generous with my money, but I also want stuff for myself, and that's even within my own house, and definitely when it comes to others, so on and so forth. So yeah, just make sure that you're being active where you need to be active, and primaries are coming up very shortly, relatively shortly, so make sure that you're active in that, and definitely keep your eye on November and make sure that we're doing what we need to do. Obviously today I shouted out the Indiana Citizens Defense League, or Civil Defense League, the ICDL. I am very certain that whatever state each of you are in right now, okay, I know several of you, we've got Michigan, we've got Ohio, we've got Florida, we got some stuff out west, and make sure that you're looking up your state organizations. If you're looking for a good national organization to support, I am once again going to, as always, shout out Gun Owners of America. The Firearms Policy Coalition and the Second Amendment Foundation. Those are great ones that have shown a no compromise attitude. If you are already a member of the NRA, make sure that you are being very vocal about reorganization and draining that organization's swamps. And yeah, we're not going to talk anymore about that. Anyway, so we're not going to have any serious change without either A, making sure to be active in a positive way, or B, being violent. And I prefer peace. If trouble must come, let it come in my day, that my children might know peace. Okay, I'm going to keep using that quote because it's a great quote, and it's absolutely 100% the truth. So, anyway, yep, exactly. Poor conservative. And what else? 300 blackouts. War ready with its new Faxon barrel. I want to build an expensive AR. I think I've already mentioned this. I really would like to do what would Stoner do 2020 build. You saying Faxon made me think of their pencil barrels, which are what are being used in the What Would Stoner Do build. Yeah, of course. And then I also want a 5.56 Jackal. That comes out later this year. That's launching at 300 first. Yes, making people understand our rights and making people understand the root of our rights. That our rights did not come from the government. They're recognized by the government. That the Bill of Rights doesn't make any limit on any of the Bill of Rights, okay? It doesn't matter if it's speech and religion, if it's firearms. None of that limits the citizens. It limits the government. So, yeah. Out salting. Oh, hey, 2A. Glad you popped in. I figured you were busy, so but hey, thanks for popping in, and be safe out there, stay warm. Hey, I'm good at helping people spend their money and buy guns, Josh. Don't believe me, ask my coworker, supervisor, whatever is, I mean, I guess technically he's my supervisor. I've helped him spend a lot of money. So Anyway, yeah, Josh, I want a jackal bad. I'm thinking about reaching out to, I don't know if it'll do any good, but I'm planning on picking up a PS9 dagger, and I'm thinking about maybe reaching out to Chad Wiley. And I'm not looking for a free pistol, but I would like to be kind of try to get at the head of the review and comparison stuff, and see what it might take to get early access to that. I don't know if it'll work. Obviously, with my whole 208 subscribers, I'm not the biggest fish in the pond, but right now Palmetto State's knocking it out of the park. Plans this year, I'd like an AKV, I want an ARV, a dagger, a jackal, a 74. I mean, legitimately, I just need to change my direct deposit to Palmetto State. So, anyway, running in. Oh, hey, Mateo's here. Hi, Mateo. So, all right. Guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, like, subscribe, share, do all the things that we need to do. Feel free, if you are also a content creator and you've been chatting, you can drop in a, hey, check out my channel. We got 2AEDU in there, Poor Conservative, Armed Ape, you are a creator, aren't you? Yeah, just drop in the chat real quick. I've got a channel, and then you guys can click their username and go sub. I want everybody brings just something a little bit different to the conversation, and I enjoy seeing and hearing everybody's takes on things. So guys, stay safe, stay warm, keep your powder dry, and until next time, shoot straight, stay safe.